You know, my whole life was shattered by the dope. Lost damn near everything. Damn near. And I still want to get high. It's an obsession. An obsession is a beast. There's moments that I see moments of clarity, and they're coming more frequently. And my own man always used to say, what you bring in with the teaspoon, you can haul out with the shovel. That's what addiction is like for me. I didn't get punched in the face. It crept up on me like a lion to a deer. And I don't know when the obsession sat in exactly. At what point it became unmanageable, unbearable, at which point I became powerless, or at which point I even became miserable, at which point I didn't care. No idea when any of that happened. Catastrophic events, yes, but it never stopped me from using. Only made it more difficult. The maze had a few more dead ends. Nothing I couldn't work around. I remember stumbling into some of the meeting rooms. Man, I was so beat down, I couldn't look at nothing but my feet. The only time I ever saw the sky is if it was reflected in a puddle on the ground. So I come into some meeting rooms and I stared at my feet. And I realized, man, I had spooned tons of sand upon myself. The fucking Egyptians had to have been addicts, man. They built all those great big pillars. You know how they did it? Big center core stone, one piece, then they'd pile sand around it. When it got as high as the piece, they'd put another piece on, and they'd pile sand around it. And piece by piece, they'd pile sand around it, pile sand around it, just like I did through my addiction. So my pillar got to the top, and I couldn't make it any higher. Ran out of sand, man. I ran out of sand. I don't know, maybe take 8-10 years, something like that, to stack one of those pillars. Tired of piling sand on it, man. Time to get out that shovel. And the Great Spirit helps you. All of a sudden, favorable winds start to blow your way. Start to blow my way. Start to blow the sand away from that pillar. But 10 years underneath that sand, the pillar changed. It wasn't the same pieces of stone that I had covered up. They were different. They'd been shaped by the constant weight of the pillars above it, by the rubbing of the sand. I don't know. It's hard to determine exactly what shaped what. And that doesn't really matter. Because as the sand blows away, as I shovel the sand away, as those people standing in front of me and behind me help move the sand, my life starts to take shape. I'm not the person I was. I'll never be the person I was. Be a whole new person. And it's good to get to know who I am. Slow process, but good. And one thing I get out of coming into those rooms and attending those meetings is that there's all kinds of pillars. The Egyptians would build fields of those pillars. And each of the pillars would be in a different part of the process. So I'll come in there and I see pillars that are still just buried in sand. And I see ones that are just barely getting begun, and still others that the sand has been nearly completely removed. And then pillars are built to strengthen each other. They don't just build one column, one pillar. They build a room of them. And when I didn't know any better, or I didn't know how to remove the sand, all I had to do was look at somebody else's pillar for a while and see how they were removing their sand. I'll be damned if it ain't working for me. Fields of pillars. Not just in Egypt, man. Fields of them motherfuckers. So if you're covered up with sand, don't know what to do, know that the sand was there to support you when the ark could not. Because of our choices. Look at somebody else's pillar in that room. See what they're doing to get their sand removed. See how they're shaped underneath. See how they change and if you like it or not. And if you do, do what they do. Ask them, how'd you get all that sand moved away from your pillar? If it works for you, your core will be revealed. And you'll be changed. You'll be shaped with the sands of time. But no longer do you have to teaspoon on that sand. Shovel that shit away. Stand tall and stand proud. Because that pillar took work. Even if the wind's barely starting to blow the skiff off the top of it. It'll come. Hold fast. Look at the pillars around you. And know that they've been there for decades, and they'll be there decades after we're gone. And someday, somebody's gonna watch you clearing the sand away from your pillar and be like, damn, maybe they can show me how to move the sand from mine. And that's the point of the whole motherfucking thing. Sandstorms.